Los Angeles has long been known as a cultural powerhouse, a place where dreams are built, trends are born, and stories are told on the world's biggest stages. But beneath the surface of glitz and glamour, another transformation is taking place, one far more spiritual, more grounded, and deeply significant. Los Angeles is emerging as the Islamic capital of the West, a city where Islam isn't just present, it's thriving, growing, and shaping lives in ways that are both profound and inspiring. What makes this city so unique in the context of Islam's growth is the diversity it holds. Here, cultures from every corner of the globe intersect, and that has created fertile ground for dialogue, discovery, and faith. Los Angeles isn't just a melting pot, it's a meeting point of souls searching for purpose. In that search, many are finding Islam, not through force, not through spectacle, but through sincerity, through action, through truth. The mosques here are more than places of worship. They are community centers, education hubs, safe spaces, and bridges between people of different backgrounds. The Los Angeles Islamic Center, among many others, stands not just as a building, but as a beacon. Day and night, you'll find it alive with prayer, discussion, learning, and service. People walk in with questions and walk out with clarity. New Muslims are welcomed not just with open arms, but with strong support systems, brothers and sisters who guide, uplift, and connect. And for those born into the faith, these centers offer a renewed sense of identity, reminding them that being Muslim in America is not a contradiction, but a powerful combination of faith and freedom. Islam in Los Angeles is visible in the way communities care for their neighbors, in the free meals given out every week, in the counseling services, the youth programs, the interfaith dialogues, and the outreach initiatives. It's visible in Ramadan nights that light up neighborhoods with prayer and generosity, and in Eid celebrations that bring thousands together in joy and remembrance of Allah. There is structure, but there is also soul. And that's what makes this movement so real. It's not just organized, it's organic. It's not just an effort, it's an awakening. What's also striking is how Islam here is embraced across every race, age, and socioeconomic background. You'll find reverts from all walks of life, former gang members, professionals, students, artists, all finding common ground in the teachings of Islam. This isn't about becoming someone else. It's about becoming who you were always meant to be. And that message, that calling, is reaching deeper into the heart of Los Angeles every single day. In a city known for shaping pop culture, Islam is now shaping consciousness. Slowly but surely, it's transforming what power, success, and fulfillment look like. The narrative is changing. It's no longer just about the American dream, it's about the spiritual dream, the dream of living in peace with yourself, your creator, and your community. And it's happening right here in the streets, the homes, the masjids, and the hearts of Los Angeles. The rise of Islam in this city isn't loud, but it's powerful. It's not flashy, but it's deeply felt. And as this faith continues to grow in the City of Angels, it's becoming clear. Los Angeles isn't just a place where stars are made. It's becoming a place where souls are guided back to their creator. In a world often driven by dominance, competition, and influence, the idea of faith growing peacefully within a global superpower may seem unexpected. Yet that is exactly what is happening with Islam in the United States. Quietly, steadily, and without the force of politics or media campaigns, Islam is finding its place in the heart of America. In a country known for its military strength, technological advancements, and cultural reach, the rise of Islam is not coming through conflict, but through compassion. It's a growth rooted in spirituality, service, and truth, a movement that is not just gaining followers, but winning hearts. America, with all its complexities, has always been a land of freedom, freedom of speech, of religion, of belief. That very foundation is what allows Islam to spread here in a way that's authentic and unforced. Mosques are not just being built, they are being filled. Qurans are not just being handed out, they are being read, understood, and lived. From college campuses to inner city neighborhoods, from tech offices to suburban homes, Islam is finding its place in the daily rhythm of American life. What makes this growth particularly striking is that it's happening without spectacle. There are no billboards announcing conversions, no headlines screaming revival. It's in the small moments: a conversation in a cafe, a kind gesture in a hospital, an open invitation to a Friday prayer. It's in the way Muslims carry themselves, in the peace they radiate, in the discipline they show. And when people see that, they begin to ask questions. They begin to look deeper, and many of them begin to walk toward the faith. This peaceful spread of Islam stands in contrast to the misconceptions often portrayed in the media. For years, the faith has been misunderstood, painted with broad strokes of fear and suspicion. But in real life, on the ground, in cities and towns across the country, Islam is revealing its true face, a religion of mercy, of balance, of justice. Americans are seeing Muslims as neighbors, co-workers, classmates, and friends, people who stand for something greater than themselves. And that recognition is creating understanding, respect, and ultimately, acceptance. Los Angeles, as a reflection of this national trend, shows how Islam thrives even in the heart of a world-leading superpower. Here, you'll find Muslims leading humanitarian efforts, running businesses with integrity, serving in public office, teaching in classrooms, and mentoring the next generation. They are not hiding their faith. They are living it out loud with grace and confidence. They are contributing to society, not despite being Muslim, but because they are Muslim, and that distinction matters. It is through actions, not arguments, that Islam is expanding its reach, through prayer, not power, through charity, not control. It's not about imposing beliefs, it's about inspiring belief. And in a country as influential as America, the impact of that inspiration can ripple far beyond its borders. This is not just a story about numbers. It's a story about meaning, about transformation, about truth finding its place in one of the most powerful nations on earth, not by challenging the system, but by elevating the soul. The rise of Islam in America is a reminder that true strength doesn't always look like dominance. Sometimes it looks like peace. And in this superpower nation, the quiet rise of Islam stands as proof that the most powerful movements are often the most peaceful. All across America, a quiet revolution is unfolding, one that doesn't grab headlines but changes lives forever. It's a spiritual revolution, powered not by mass movements or celebrity voices, but by individual hearts turning toward Islam. Every single day, new Muslims are stepping forward, taking their shahada, and entering into a faith that offers clarity, peace, and purpose. This growing wave of reverts is not just a statistic. It's a sign of a deeper hunger, a search for truth in a world that often feels empty and uncertain. People from all walks of life, artists, athletes, students, single mothers, ex-cons, veterans, are embracing Islam in cities big and small, from the buzzing streets of Los Angeles to quiet rural towns. What unites them is not background, culture, or color. It's the feeling that they've found something real, something pure, something that connects them directly to the Creator without confusion or contradiction. Many of them speak of feeling lost before Islam, chasing success, battling addiction, searching for meaning in temporary things. But when they encountered the message of Islam's simplicity, its balance, its call to justice and mercy, it lit something inside of them. And once that light is sparked, it doesn't fade. The beauty of this quiet revolution lies in how personal it is. No one is pressured into the faith. There are no flashy recruitment efforts. It's often just one sincere conversation, a verse from the Quran that resonates, a moment of clarity during a time of pain. Islam enters their lives gently, but once it arrives, it transforms everything. Daily routines shift to make time for prayer, friendships deepen with purpose, priorities change, and most of all, hearts become calm because they've finally found what they've been searching for. For many new Muslims, Los Angeles becomes a sanctuary. The city's vast network of Islamic centers and organizations offers support and structure, but more importantly, it offers community. These new believers are not left to figure it out on their own. They're welcomed, mentored, guided. Brothers and sisters step in to teach them how to pray, how to fast, how to build their lives around their new faith. It's not just about religion, it's about family. That sense of belonging is something many converts have never truly experienced before. And now they have it, rooted in something divine. It's also important to recognize the courage it takes to walk this path. In a society that often misunderstands Islam, these new Muslims face questions, doubts, and sometimes even rejection. But they walk forward anyway. Their commitment isn't shallow, it's strong, it's earned, and because of that, they carry the faith with passion and purpose. They become voices of truth in their own circles, inviting others not through debate, but through example. This quiet spiritual revolution is shaping the future of Islam in America. These new Muslims bring with them new perspectives, new energy, and a deep appreciation for the truth they've found. They are helping redefine what it means to be Muslim in the West, showing that this faith is not foreign or restrictive, but liberating, that it belongs here, that it speaks to the soul of every human being, no matter where they come from. And as more hearts awaken and more souls return to their Creator, it becomes clear that this revolution isn't slowing down, it's just getting started. The rise of new Muslims in America is a reminder that when the heart hears the truth, it answers. Islamic centers across America have evolved into far more than places of worship. They are the heartbeat of Muslim communities, the safe harbors where faith is nurtured, identities are strengthened, and people come together not only to pray, but to grow. In Los Angeles, this role has become especially significant. As the city emerges as a central hub of Islam in the West, its Islamic centers have transformed into engines of unity, service, and hope. Places where the message of Islam is not just preached, but practiced every single day. Walk into any masjid in Los Angeles, and you'll see more than lines of worshippers. You'll find classrooms full of eager students, food pantries feeding hundreds, counseling services offering healing, and outreach programs connecting Muslims and non-Muslims alike. These centers are alive with purpose. They've become models of how faith can integrate with daily life, how Islam can meet people right where they are, and how community can be the strongest form of Dawah. What makes these centers so powerful is their ability to unite people of all backgrounds. In Los Angeles, the Muslim community is incredibly diverse: Black, Latino, Arab, South Asian, white, and beyond. And in the masjid, all those differences disappear. There is no status, no color, no class, just believers standing shoulder to shoulder, bound by a shared love for the Creator. That unity is felt not just in prayer, but in the way people serve each other, support each other, and hold each other accountable. At the heart of this service is sincerity. Islamic centers in LA are not trying to impress the world, they are trying to serve it. Volunteers give their time freely, community members donate resources without recognition, and imams and educators commit themselves fully to guiding the next generation. Youth programs are tailored to address real-life challenges, identity, mental health, peer pressure, and help young Muslims find strength in their faith rather than feel ashamed of it. Women's programs are empowering and inclusive. New Muslims are welcomed with open arms and supported through every step of their journey. The elderly are cared for with honor and respect. Every age, every need, Every heart is seen and served. These centers also play a crucial role in shaping how Islam is perceived by the broader public. Open houses, interfaith events, and community service initiatives extend the hand of Islam beyond the walls of the masjid. Non-Muslims are invited to experience firsthand the generosity, kindness, and truth of this faith. And when they do, many walk away changed, because they see Islam not as a foreign concept, but as a beautiful, living reality. And through all this, the spirit of Islam remains at the center. 5 daily prayers still echo through the halls. Quran recitation fills the air. Fasting, charity, remembrance. These aren't abstract ideas, they are lived experiences. Everything begins and ends with the worship of Allah, and it is that focus that gives these centers their strength. They are not political bases or social clubs. They are sanctuaries, spaces built on love for Allah and love for humanity. In Los Angeles, Islamic centers have become more than just structures. They are symbols. Symbols of faith in action. Symbols of Islam's truth lived out in a modern, fast-paced world. And through them, we see that the strength of the Muslim community doesn't come from numbers alone, but from unity, service, and unwavering devotion. And as these centers continue to grow and serve, they are proving that Islam doesn't just belong in America. It helps build a better one. In a city known for its flashing lights, red carpets, and endless pursuit of fame, something far deeper is beginning to rise. Los Angeles, the global epicenter of entertainment and material ambition, is now witnessing the quiet, steady rise of something that stands in complete contrast to Islam. While the world often looks to LA for the latest trends, the newest stars, and the next big thing, a different kind of journey is unfolding among those who are turning away from the noise to seek something real. In the middle of a city that celebrates self-promotion, a growing number of people are finding peace in submission, and in doing so, they're proving that faith has a place even in the heart of a culture built on fame. More and more, people are beginning to realize that the promises of fame, attention, wealth, status don't deliver the inner peace they were hoping for. There's a growing emptiness, a spiritual hunger that can't be filled with likes, followers, or applause. And into that void, the message of Islam is arriving not with noise, but with clarity. Islam calls to something higher than the self. It offers discipline instead of distraction, service instead of self-importance, and purpose instead of vanity. It's a call that speaks softly but powerfully, and many in Los Angeles are starting to listen. You can see it in the actors who step away from the industry to protect their values, in the musicians who turn down deals to protect their soul, in the influencers who trade fame for faith, who delete platforms and pick up prayer mats. These stories aren't always told in the media, but they're happening quietly, consistently, and behind each one is a person who decided that the approval of the world wasn't worth more than the peace of their creator. Los Angeles is a place where people come to be seen, but those who embrace Islam here are choosing to be unseen by the world if it means being seen by Allah. That kind of courage stands out. It's not loud, but it's powerful. These are people choosing modesty over attention, character over clout, and sincerity over spotlight. And in a city obsessed with image, that choice is revolutionary. This movement is also transforming the culture within the Muslim community. Young Muslims in LA who once felt they had to choose between their faith and their city are now realizing they can walk proudly with both. They're starting businesses that honor Islamic principles, creating art that reflects their beliefs, building platforms that elevate voices of truth. The narrative is shifting. It's no longer about blending in. It's about standing out with purpose. Faith isn't something to hide here anymore. It's something to lead with. At the same time, the Islamic community is offering an alternative lifestyle that's grounded in family, prayer, and service. Events that center around faith, not fame. Gatherings where the focus is on the heart, not the appearance. And slowly but surely, those who have spent years chasing something that never satisfied are finding what they've been looking for all along in Islam. This city, known for turning people into stars, is now turning hearts back to their Creator, and in doing so, it's proving that you don't need a spotlight to shine, because real light, light that guides, that heals, that lasts, comes from the truth. And in Los Angeles, that truth is rising with every call to prayer, every act of charity, every step toward Allah. And as more people choose faith over fame, the world will begin to see that the most powerful transformation doesn't happen in front of cameras. It happens in the heart. All across America, something powerful is unfolding. Not in stadiums or campaign rallies, but in living rooms, coffee shops, sidewalks, and university halls. It's a movement that doesn't scream for attention, but moves with purpose and presence. The Dawah movement in America is redefining what it means to be Muslim in the modern world, especially in a society where faith is often misunderstood or misrepresented. And nowhere is that more clear than in Los Angeles, a city that once seemed a world away from the disciplined rhythm of prayer and service, but now stands as a key battlefield where truth is gently but firmly being shared, one conversation at a time. This Dawah isn't loud, it isn't confrontational, it's not about debating others into submission. It's about living Islam so clearly and sincerely that others feel compelled to ask, what is it that gives you that peace? Whether it's a young brother answering questions after Jummah, a sister wearing her hijab with confidence on a college campus, or a Muslim business owner who treats his customers with uncommon respect and honesty, every action is Dawah. Every act of kindness, every moment of patience, every word rooted in truth. That's Dawah. That's the message. And in a city as culturally influential as Los Angeles, these small acts of Dawah ripple far beyond the masjid walls. You see it in the growing number of open houses at Islamic centers where non-Muslims are welcomed in with genuine hospitality and leave with a new understanding. You see it in social media clips where reverts tell their stories, not to glorify themselves, but to glorify Allah. You see it in street Dawah tables, where volunteers stand calmly and confidently in the middle of busy sidewalks, simply offering information, a smile, and a prayer. What makes this Dawah movement different is that it's not about proving Islam right. It's about showing that Islam is already beautiful. There's no desperation, no pressure, just truth. That approach speaks especially loudly in a place like Los Angeles, where people are used to being sold something. In a city where image often overpowers essence, Dawah that is rooted in sincerity cuts through the noise. It draws people in not with flash, but with foundation. This movement is also being led by a new generation. Young Muslims who are unapologetic about who they are and what they believe. They're not trying to conform or water down the deen. They are proud, they're articulate, they know their history, their purpose, and their mission. They are teaching others not just through books, but through action. They're using art, media, business, and service to convey what it means to live as a Muslim with integrity. And by doing so, they're changing the American narrative. They're reshaping what people think Islam is and who Muslims are. At the same time, the Dawah movement is deepening the faith of those already within Islam. It's calling lifelong Muslims back to the basics, back to the essence, reminding them that Dawah is not the job of a few. It's the mission of every believer. This isn't about being perfect. It's about being present. It's about realizing that someone might come to Islam not because of a lecture, but because of the way you treated them when no one else did. It's about remembering that the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, spread Islam not just with words, but with character. In Los Angeles, The Dawah movement isn't just about inviting people to Islam, it's about inviting them to truth, to peace, to purpose. It's about building a new identity for Muslims in America, one that is strong, sincere, and unshakable. And as this movement continues to grow, one heart at a time, it becomes clear: the future of Islam in America won't be decided by power or politics, but by the people who live the truth and share it with love.